Hi friends, welcome back to Angular CRUD application tutorial series. So it is my 8th video. So we have created the JSON server and set up this application, and we already done the list page and add page and already did the add operation. Okay, so last we have discussed also the delete operation also. So one thing is left to complete the full CRUD operation. So we need to edit these things, right? So we will create a link here. This is the edit link, and by clicking on this edit link we will get a form just like this, and that form will be the field with the data. Okay, so let's see how we can do this. So first of all, we need to create this edit link. So here is my project directory. Just go to the source app. Inside the app we have created the components, and all the components we already created. Okay, so just go to the list component.html file, and here we can see we have created the delete button, and same like we will create the edit button also. Okay, so for edit button we need a anchor tag. So just write a, and we don't need href, actually we need the router link, right? And we'll create a link that is edit. So currently if we just click on this edit, we are getting the edit. Actually we don't need this edit, because when you go into the list and click on the edit, so it will go to the particular student details. So we need the id also. So I don't need this, actually this edit link, so we'll pass the id along with this. So here just write the router link, that is edit slash the item id. Actually we are getting the id inside here, right? So this is the link, and here I will just use the edit, right? So anchor tag is added. Now if you just go inside the listing page, so we can see delete and edit. So it's not look good. I want to use the font awesome, so just go here, font awesome CDN, and search for, suppose I am using this link, so this is the link, so I need to use this. So just go inside the index.html, so this is the main file, so just paste this here, right? So before the head tag close, right? And we can use the font awesome class. So I know how to use this, and simply here write I, and we'll use the specific class. Okay, so the class is suppose fa trace. So trace for delete icon. So just use this and just copy these things also, so the functionality will still exist. And same way just copy these things and paste it here, and we don't need this click option, and the icon will be the edit, right? And we will not need this. Okay, so now just go here, you can see two icons. Okay, so this looks nice, but we need some space here, so simply just write and nbsp, right? So it looks good. Now we can continue our edit application. So just click on the edit. So if we just click on the edit, it is basically showing the error, that is the router link error, right? So actually we don't have this type of links. So for this we need to go to the router page. So just go to the router page. So here is the app routing module.ts, and here we have a created edit. So we need to just pass the id here, right? So how we can pass this? So just simply write slash id. Okay, so now refresh this, we can see the link, but the link is still not valid. So actually we need to write the slash here, right? So if we just click here, so we can go to the edit student works, right? That means the edit student component is working. So if we just go to the edit student component.html, we can see these are coming, right? Now the thing is, we need to create a form like this, and just copy this from the previous. So already we have discussed how to create a forms. So if you don't see the previous video, so actually this is the video series. So if you don't see this, I recommend you please see this first, right? So it will be more clear to you. So just copy the add component ts also, and here we'll just copy this section. So we need the from control from group and also the service. So just go to the edit student component and just import these things too. So these things are imported. Now some things more we need to import. So just copy this section. So private student service, so we are calling this, and we also need this full section, right? So just go here and paste this, right? So all are done. So let's see how it's appearing. So if we just go to the list page, and from there we will just go to the edit page. So the simple form is coming. Okay, so right now we don't need this link, so I am just going to remove this, so further it will not create any confusion. So just go to the app component HTML and just removing this link from the component file. So just go here and we cannot see this, right? And the thing is, we don't need this. Actually copied all the things, and this is the index.html, also removing these things, and route is set, and we don't need the list component also, right? So we need edit student component TypeScript file and the HTML file. Okay, so all are set. Now we will do the changes, right? So here just first write update student and success message student updated, and here is the remove message, and if we just go here we can see the remove message, no problem on that. And here the from group, suppose I changing the name of the from group, so edit student, so just write here the edit student. Okay, and save data, so I am just going to update data. So actually when we will click on this submit button, basically this form will call. So just write here update data, right? So all are ready. Now we need to fetch the specific record. Suppose just go to the list and I'm just going to edit the student 1, so we need this student 1 here. Okay, so basically we need this parameter, that is the route parameter which are getting, and by using this parameter we will fetch the record. Okay, so for this we need to import the routers. So just go here and import the router modules. So just write here from and @angular routes, right? Angular slash router, right? And we will import here simply activated route. Okay, so it's appearing, and now we need to use this inside here. So just add the comma and create another, that is private. Suppose I am taking the name as router, and it will be the activated route. Okay, so using this activated route will get the value of this URL, right? So just go to ng on init. So here just console which I am getting from the route. So I'm just going to console this. So this dot the router dot the snapshot dot params, that is parameters, dot the id. So basically id is coming from here, right? So if we write here the id, we need to use this inside here, right? So from there it's coming. Okay, so now if we just go here and just refresh this, so we are getting the id 1. And if we just go again and trying to edit this, so just click on this and it's getting 5. That means we are getting this record. Okay, so now the next step is what? So we need to call a API, and through the API we will fetch the record of the particular student, right? So how we can do this? So we already have included the service, so we'll call this service. So just go to the service, student service.ts, right? And here we'll create a function that is get student by ID. Okay, so here we'll take the ID, so just write here ID, and we'll fetch the particular record from the APIs. So just write return this dot URL, HTTP, and we'll get the record. So write here get. Okay, and we'll pass this ID. How we can pass this? So just use the still sign and dollar, just like the above which we have done for the delete, and then slash, and then we'll pass the ID. So ID, right? So all are done. So what is the error here? So the property student service or HTTP client, right? And here I am specifying that is any. Okay, so we can get the any value. So we can specify the number also, because the student ID always be the number, right? And now we need to call these functions from the student component .ts file, right? So here we'll just call this. So just write this dot the student, so right here student, and the function name get student by ID, and we'll pass the ID here. So we know we are getting the ID from here, so just pass this, right? And then subscribe, right? And let's check what appearing. So just here we'll create a closure function. So write result, and here we'll create this, and we'll print console.log the result. Okay, so let's check what is appearing through the API, right? So I am closing this console. So now if we just go to the browser, so just close this and refresh this, so we are getting the records from here, that is David. So david@gmail.com. so this is for 5, and if you just go again and click on the 8, and I think I will get the value of John Cena, right? So we are getting John Cena. So we need to populate this value here. Okay, so how we can populate this? So just we are getting all the result. Now we can use this edit student from group again here, and we'll use this. So right here this, right, this dot edit student. Now we'll pass this from here, right? So we are getting all the value inside the result. So simply write result and the name, right? In the similar way we'll pass the email also. So the next thing is email, right? So we'll use the email. Okay, so what is the error? So the property name does not exist on type object. Okay, so we need to TypeScript this. So we are getting the value, the result. So I am specifying this type any, right? So all are done. Now if we just go to the browser, so we are getting the value, that is John Cena, and go back to listing and suppose Goldberg. So right here we are getting the Goldberg. We'll get the value of Harry Potter also. Okay, so we are populating all the value which you need to update, right? So next things, when you click on the submit, we need to save this also. So if we just go to the edit, so if we just go to the edit student component.html, I already created a ng submit function. So when you just copy it, we have created these things. So actually when you click on the submit, it will call this function, that is the update data function, and we have the already update data function. Okay, so let's create the functions. So here if you just go to here, suppose I'm going to access all the ed student from inside this, so all the value we need, so this is the value, name and email, and all the value we need inside this update data. So how we can get this? So write simple console.log. Let's check how it's appearing. So just write this, and we are using reactive forms, so this dot edit student dot value, right? So now if we just go the browser and refresh this, so we are getting the value. So just remove all the logs and suppose Harry Potter 1. Okay, so I'm just going to edit these things, right? So click on submit. So we are getting the from value inside the update data functions, right? So we are getting the value, so we have no problem. So we'll just pass this value to the service, and from the service we'll call the API and we'll update these things, right? So how we can do this? Very simple, no problem on that. So simply we will create another service function. Suppose I'm going to the service and create another function, suppose update student data, right? So what the things we need? So we need basically two things. So we need the ID where I want to update, so first write ID, and the next things all the data we are getting from the from, right? So I am using the data, right? And simply we'll call API, so just like this. So I am copying from this, so here we'll use the put method, right? And we'll pass this URL ID and we'll pass the another things, that is the data, right? And what is the error? So this is same type of error, so just ID will be the number and the data may have any kind of data, right? So okay, so update student data is completed. Now just go to the TypeScript file. So here we need to call this update student data from the service, right? So how we can call this? So we know how to call this, so we have done lots of things like this in this series, right? So use this dot student dot the function name update student data, and we'll pass the value. So this ed student dot value, and the another thing, so first parameter we are getting the ID and second parameter value. So we are passing the value, but how to pass the ID? So we already passed this ID from the this router snapshot params dot ID, so just copy here, right? So two parameters we have passed. Now we need to subscribe, so right here subscribe. Okay, so right here the closer function, so write result, and here we'll create this and we'll just simply console the result which are getting. So every time we need to console these things, so this is the good practice. So when we will get the error, so let's fix this and proceed, right? So we are getting all the value, that is result. Okay, so I'm just removing the first console, so we don't need this. So we are getting the value from the service, so all are set, and just go to service. Okay, so we are passing the ID and data, right? So now just go to the browser and suppose here go to the list. Suppose I want to edit these things, student 1. So here write suppose any name, that is John's mark, right? And here write John's, so I want to use the small case John's @email.com. okay, so now just save this. So we are getting the John's mark, right? So it's coming after the API call, right? So if we just go into the server, we can see the student 1 will be changed, so John's mark. And if we just go to the list also, so these are also updated. So cool, right? So in this way we can update this, but we need another thing. So when we just adding this section, so after submit it's showing the success message. So why not in the update section? So we already make that functions. So here just go to the edStudentComponent.html. Here we have a ng if condition, that is if the message is true then it will show, right, success student updated. So just use these things. So after updated we will just use this dot message equal to true, right? So just go to the browser again and just go to the list again and student 2. Suppose I am going to add in random numbers, that is student 1234, and the email ID is student1234@email.com, and let's submit. Okay, so we are getting the student updated, and we have also cross button. So when you click on this cross button, we are getting this remove message functions, and we already add this the remove message function. So all we have done in the add section, right? So when we just created this add student section, we have done all those things. So if you don't see the previous video, I recommend you please see the full video series, and I will provide the link inside the description section. And also I will update this into the GitHub so you can download, and that links also will provide in the playlist description section. Okay, so if we now just click on this cross button, so message is gone, right? So all our things maximum is done, that is we are getting the list, we did the add page, now edit and delete. So next things we will going to register students. So here actually we have adding the students like these things. So next day we'll going to register suppose teacher, right? So that will be the interesting thing. So we will create a registration process in the next video. Please comment if you have any queries about this video, and like and subscribe this channel for upcoming video. Thanks for watching this video. Have a good day. Bye.